Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus the Riven Realms. We made it over to Crystal. We just wandered over from Larnac, so nothing was missed. But we're here to talk to the Magistrate. Ask the Magistrate if he can source the orcish drug Bruag Osh. Yes. Bruag Osh. The Magistrate enunciates perfectly between hits on his reefer. I know it. Most where did I place... Now, where did I place the stuff? He trails off, taking another hearty drag. He holds it for a time, lost in his contemplation, before he signals to one of his many servants and begins talking to her in hushed tones. When he finally exhales, he is in mid-rant, and the servant girl is enveloped by an acrid cloud of smoke. Then she takes off towards a separate chamber, ostensibly in search of something. When she returns, she presents Flavius with a wooden box, which he promptly tips out onto the ground in front of him. He stares at the contents for a moment before the realization hits. There it is, he bellows before reaching town to gather up a small glass vial of powder. Strong stuff, this. I'd be bloody well careful if I were you, especially so since... Javik prompts the Magistrate to continue. Well, it's just Osh. This Osh, Flavius goes on, is been enhanced. No need to worry, of course. Just a little enchanted cerulean crystal powder, you know. Harmless, really. I take it you know what this stuff does? Sorcerer? He asks Javik. The Tarkian nods and the two enter a short dialogue about where Flavius got the orcish drug, how much it costs and what one must look out for while using it. The Magistrate, as vacuous as he may often seem, clearly knows a lot about the substance and its uses. Typical druggie. When prodded, he explains that he sought it out and imbibed it for purposes of experimentation. Oh, Javik says, feigning interest. What was the experimentation? Oh, was the experimentation to your satisfaction? What follows is the typical of the Magistrate, a long session of explanation, lecturing, and bloviating on the topic of Bruag Osh that leads nowhere and in the end does not elucidate you at all. By the end of it, you do not even need to look at each other to know that you should be leaving. The sorcerer quickly pays Flavius and you make whatever excuses you need to get out. The Magistrate thanks you for your company and wishes you good luck. Javik and you return the thanks and begin walking back to the Comitatus. Javik turns to you, a modicum of excitement shining through his weathered features. Now we just need to go to Loom, he comments. Of course we'll need to camp somewhere outside. We can't get too close. Somewhere far from the forest's wrath during the day. After nightfall, I can head in safely. You nod and ask if anything further will be needed for the sorcerer's foray into the depths of his mind. Not really, he says, shaking his head. Whatever's in there, I'm sure I can confront it. And soon you have arrived back at the Comitatus, everything accounted for and ready for what comes next. Yes, gained loyalty. Does this mean we can upgrade him? No. All right. We'll take you people with us. Why not? We're full on food. We might have been a little too overzealous in taking these missions to Lumen and Torzeg Shelter, but hopefully we can get to Lumen back and then deliver the stuff. But let's get on our way. Whoops. Loom. 8 nodes. What? Well, at least we have our heat crystal. You know what? I'm going to be a little reckless and charge in here. Now. We rest. Aha! We're here. At your behest, the crew and companions alike set down for the night and begin making the necessary preparations. Amid the chaos of the fledgling camp, Javik comes to you, his expression expectant. Here we are, finally. Tell me, Vagrus, is tonight the night I can journey into the forest and then... The unknown? Allow him to do the ritual now. This is a potentially long and risky endeavor. Ask Javik exactly what the ritual entails. Javik's hand strays to his chin where he plays with his goatee in a contemplative fashion. I've prepared myself to head into the cooling crystal forest, which is known in certain circles to have a soothing effect on the psionic noise created by minds, he explains. Once I find a quiet place, I will imbibe the substance called Bruag Osh, which opens the mind and elevates mental processes to great heights. With all this, I am to enter an undisturbed trance and dive deep into my own psyche so that I can finally uncover what is hidden there. He smiles faintly. But I wouldn't dream about going without your permission. We will allow him to do it. That's the whole reason we came here. Javik nods appreciatively, but he does not leave right away. Instead, he is shuffling about, rubbing his chin thoughtfully. You ask him what the matter is, and the sorcerer turns to you again with a smile. You see, Vagrus, I've been contemplating something, he begins carefully. I could really use someone in this ritual I'm about to embark on. That someone is, well, you. My abilities in the use of the orcish psychotic allow another person, or indeed several people, to enter the mindscape alongside me. By Aman, it is even recommended. See, from what I've heard, using Bruagash can be quite a dangerous affair. Actually, the shamans I spoke to long ago warned against doing it alone. Apparently, doing so can lead one astray or adrift in a sea of memories, or consciousness made manifest. One might find oneself losing one's bearings, even succumbing to madness, and given that it is my mind, hardly the most tame of places it would seem. I'd rather not risk doing it without someone I trust. You ask Javik if that means he trusts you. I suppose it does, he says cheerfully. So shall we get going? It seems like a calm night. Agree to take part in this risky mind ritual. If we tell him, we don't want to go, does that mean he would just be like, all right, and then just die? Probably. I don't know. That seems horrible. After a few minutes required to gather everything up, you dole out orders to those among your crew you trust most, informing them that you and Javik will be in the forest for some time. A few quizzical glances are shot your way, but after you explain that you will not be gone until morning, most who are worried have their minds put to rest. Thus you set out, and in an hour reach the boundaries of the Caleres proper. Loom is a captivating and magnificent sight to behold. Luminescent sunlight is stored in the jutting pale formations, though its strength is a far cry from the scorching emanation of daytime. Instead, the lights inside the crystals dance as so many fireflies over a swamp or candles in a temple. As you delve deeper, the density of the surrounding formations becomes thicker, their glow dimmer. Darkening shadows of looming pillars stretch above you, and strangely, a sense of tranquility washes over you in waves. Minutes become an hour as the journey takes you deeper and deeper, and aside from the odd direction here and there is little to no conversation. The silence in the air feels heavy, though not oppressive or hindering in any sense. Lost in the movement and the crystalline beauty all around you, you lose your sense of time. Could some presence in Loom cause this willingly? You wonder at this notion for a moment before pressing on. After a long while, Javik turns back to you, a roguish grin tugging at his lips. Just up ahead, there's a perfect clearing. Let's settle down there. You nod and continue moving until the clearing opens up and sprawls out before you. A cluster of pale blue giants shadow you from all sides, and in the middle there's little save dirt, a perfect location for such a ritual, if indeed such a notion is possible. You sit down in the middle of the clearing where you are joined by Javik. Conversation flows easily, judging by his countenance. Javik too feels the sense of calm out here, which spurs you into commenting on it. Aye, I feel it too, he agrees. Though I might add what I experience is a little different. These crystals, they are unique. Calera found all around the Riven realms had the tendency to capture echoes of those who passed on nearby. These then coalesce into a presence, for lack of a better term, one with its own distinct aura. You tell Javik that it is interesting, but you wonder why he would mention it. Your comment, he responds, the tranquility, because of the presence of Loom. In most Calera, it becomes malicious and resentful. The echoes are, after all, trapped in these crystals, but here in Loom they merge to form a kind of chorus, a light and playful and sometimes melancholic song that soars all around us. I must say it is quite remarkable. You feel the soothing silence, and I feel the quiet music. How fitting. The Tarkian says, grinning irreverently. The self-same incessant songs blots out any noise from thoughts and emotions around us, including yours and mine, enabling me to do what I've set out to do. Speaking of which, Javik sets up a small bronze brazier and starts burning the Bruagash as incense while sitting down cross-legged across from you. He starts an incantation in a low voice, which soon becomes a continuous chant. You catch a whiff on the smoke, and almost immediately your worries are gone. It's fantasy weed. There is no distinct smell to it, but as it works its way into your lungs, you inhale and swear that you can hear the chorus Javik spoke of. At the same time, you begin to see the lights dancing in the crystals differently. Their movements seem to have a pattern, as do the positions of the stars above. Javik was right. There is a tranquil rhythm to the music, especially as it is now intermingled with his chant. Yet as it continues, other effects become apparent too. Your vision is weaker now, more constricted. Soon there is a sense that you no longer occupy your own body, and that the colors around you blend into one. After a while, you begin to ponder the strangest of thoughts, ideas that have never before taken root in your mind, people you do not know or have ever known, and yet now they are familiar to you, memories stark and peculiar, yet somehow so intimate. Down and down you go, the last of your thoughts, or his, or whose... whether you will forever lose yourself, what makes you you, but you have stopped to care. Wild, we're like experiencing everybody else's minds. Any semblance of coherent thought dissipates, and you find yourself falling further and further into a fathomless darkness. And just when you might imagine yourself succumbing to unconsciousness, or worse, the darkness around you takes form. Oh! You feel as if awakening from a dream. You taste dirt. No, sand. Pushing yourself to your feet, you rub your eyes because of the sudden sunlight and take a look around. Suddenly you are aware of a strange reality. You are short, very short, and small. You are in fact a child, yet it all feels so normal. Around and high above you, trees of a thicket that surround a small oasis sway in the afternoon breeze. There are other children, too, including a young Tarkian with a familiar face. Every feeling, every color, every face is vivid and real, yet you do not recognize this place or the children around you. In the fleeting moment before you, a realization strikes. A prank is underway, and you are its target. The familiar Tarkian boy makes signals at a large, curious lizard a few paces away from you. The boy's face is contorted in a focused effort, and the scaly reptile scuttles towards you while the other children roll in the sand laughing. You stand paralyzed with fear, not knowing what to do. The lizard is the size of a small dog, but it moves with the unnerving grace of a predator, and it is getting close. You wonder if it will bite you. You begin to run, but trip on your own leg, falling onto the fine sand to the utter glee of the other kids. Just before the reptile could get to you, something changes. You look up and see a woman. She is Tarkian too, dressed in a light-fitted bodice. There is scorn in her eyes and a frown on her face, though it is not meant for you. Her gaze finds the Tarkian boy, then the lizard. She understands what is happening. She marches toward the boy, her steps hardened by malice. The lizard scrambles into the undergrowth, apparently having lost its will to hunt you. The boy's visage shifts to belie a sense of dread that has taken him, and it is in this moment that you begin to wonder, do you know him? Just as you feel the answer forming on your lips, colors coalesce and the scene shifts abruptly while your head spins. Oh. That's a new one. When you come to your senses again, you can see that night has fallen. You stand in the walled garden of a sandstone compound, side by side with your friend, a Tarkian boy of perhaps 8 years of age. In front of the two of you is an angry Hanjari man, accompanied by a slave guard who appears to be polishing his spear. That it does, Doro, the Hanjari man accosts your friend. Duro. I know you made those damn birds shit out more eggs. I know that you took most of them. You won't fool us. No, Duro blathers. It wasn't me. Then, the Hanjari guard says with an evil grin, it must have been your little friend here. He steps forward and in an instant raises a flagrum, a beaded weapon of pain you are all too familiar with, and then brandishes it and tells you to turn around. You obey. What else could you do? The slave clothes rip open on your back and you are janked onto the ground. No! You hear Duro shout in anger and desperation. I won't allow it! As you turn around, you see Duro's features shift, maturing and morphing rapidly. Where once the young boy stood, there is now a man. It is a young Javik, you realize. Something about the scene has changed, too. Where the moons hung gracefully above you on the star-studded firmament, they are now motionless. A mist of peculiar color, turquoise mixed with azure blue, has appeared from cracks and crevices. The vivid scene has become tainted, though you know not what by. In your peripheral vision, you see the Hanjari guard swing his flagrum with reckless abandon. You brace for the pain, but it does not come. Instead, you hear the man cry out in pain and fall from his feet. You turn once more to see him and Javik standing there. You are no longer a boy. The sorcerer stands ready to fight, come what may. Stepping behind him, you make ready to aid him in the altercation. The Hanjari vaults himself to his feet, and the slave guard in the background lurches forward. Oh! Mind fight! Is this a one-on-one? Sure is. Crap. Who do you think is the most dangerous of the two? Willpower made manifest. Is that me? What does this do? Damage and heal. Oh. Yeah, boost our ally. That was weird. What did that do? Oh, it hurts him, but it gives him 400 percent damage per round. So let's try and blast this guy. He's been erased. Can I pass my turn? I don't want to hurt Javik anymore. Ow. All right, try to melt his brain. Oh, 30 damage. Yeah. That is the highest attack I've ever seen in this game. Ooh, now we're in the Bronze Desert. What's the name of that city? I forget. With the slave master and the guard at Javik's feet, he turns to you, his eyes frantic, his tone urgent. Vagrus, we must stick together if we are to survive this. Something is trying to... The Tarkian's voice trails off, and once more colors coalesce, the scene shifting. Javik is younger now, though he is no boy. You place it at no more than 20 years of age. Again you stand side by side, this time beneath a sunlit sky in the bustling city. Despite the environment, however, you are awash with elation. And understanding that the man who stands before you and your friend is looking upon the two of you with gratitude in his eyes. That he is to be your liberator, the one who shall end your indentured servitude. Even though his demeanor and attire are not so different from the man you just slew, his heart is different. You know this as you know him. He speaks with satisfaction about the work you have completed together and extends his hand to offer a hefty pouch. Javik takes it with appreciation. The both of you bow and offer your thanks and unwavering gratitude. Don't squander it, boys. You're free now. Now go, the man says, a roguish smile taking him, before I change my mind. We'll leave the city and travel to faraway places, Javik says enthusiastically. Meet people and learn some trades, right? Your eyes meet Javik and he smiles. You return it. Freedom at last, you think, and something else too. Hopes, perhaps. And just as shortly as it had begun, it is over. The scene swirls, and from the darkness something new takes form. Ah, an orc. Whoa! I'm loving the art. I haven't seen some of this art before. In a frantic spurt, you emerge from your tent, your obsidian blade drawn. Outside, in the uncanny darkness of pre-dawn, all is chaos. Orcs are laying waste to the camp, hacking and stabbing members of the comitatus with blade and spear. Crew, you realize, now that you know well. Men and women who have toiled alongside you through thick and thin. The environment is equal part desolate and magnificent. It is Valensteel, or at least the remains of the ancient elven city. Ruined structures of faded beauty and fashioned of marble rise above and beside you out of the sand. Their exquisite workmanship is a resplendent contrast to the carnage unfolding before you. Come taste my axe, fool! You hear one of the... Oh, come to taste... You hear one of the orcs roar at you. His weapon is already covered in blood, and a cruel grin curls at his lips. His fellows form up beside him, bloodlust in their eyes. You prepare yourself for the inevitable, gripping your feeble blade tightly. Then at the periphery, you see Javik. His eyes are ablaze with azure fire. As the orcs turn to face him, he turns those eyes to them. They charge him, but do not get far. Instead, they fall swiftly, all three of them clutching their heads in agony until they succumb to the immense mind blast. Moments later, a sole figure walks up behind them, his figures defiant. You recognize him. It is Rangar, the captain of your guards, but something has changed. Has he betrayed you? And Sekethma? Are these orcs his cronies? Javik steps toward him, blocking your path. Rangar looks torn and confused. Do not stand in my way, kid, he says, brandishing his iron axe. Why? Javik says with palpable malice. Will you then murder me like you did Greya and the others? Come, try it. I won't allow you to hurt anyone else here. He steps forward and ready to do battle again. With a mixture of sorrow and enmity in his eyes, Rangar charges at him. Please say he's been healed to full. Yes. Good. All right. Okay, Javik gets to go before the super mind blast this time. I don't know what happened there. I move him here. It's now Rangar's turn. He has shoved my willpower. Oh, this is a new willpower, or a new ability. Resistance, mind, and mind damage. Oh, I see. We gotta push him into the trap. Ah ha ha ha. I understand how this works. In you go. And then I'll put it here too, in case he moves. Oh, you bastard. Don't hit my willpower. Jerk. I'm gonna trap you. And put it right here. You won't be able to go anywhere. There. And then the willpower in the front. Assuming he steps onto it. Haha, idiot. Back him up again. Trap him. I don't know what I did. I think I accidentally activated a zone. Alright. Put him back. Back there again. Willpower. Haha! I figured out the secret. Now we keep putting him in this corner, and we keep alternating which place we trap. Yep. Back into the corner with you, because each trap seems to last for 2 turns. So if we keep alternating which trap he's on, and he's out of powers, so he can't shove me anymore. Oh, you bastard! You and your orcish constitution. I forget what that ability's called. Underneath him? I can't put it underneath him. I guess we'll put it here? Ah, it did dissipate. But that's okay. We'll just push him back into the corner again. Oh, you fool. You stepped onto the trap. Oh, did you know it was going to dissipate? He's too smart for me. Are we at a... Yay, he died. I think I entered a stalemate there or something. What happened? Magical chess match came to a draw. As Rangar falls to the ground, utterly defeated, Javik steps close and grabs his head. You get to live with what you've done to these people, he says, his eyes aglow with a blue flame, every single day. The warrior groans and then starts to scream. The Tarkian does not let go of him. Instead, his eyes burn with even more intense azure fire, and as he invades Rangar's mind, his screams of unbridled pain, fear, and loathing fill the camp. You pray silently to the gods that it will end. To witness such suffering, it is almost unbearable, no matter how justified you feel Javik's anger is. Your wish is soon granted, for again what you see must change, and this time it is the coming dawn that forms a kaleidoscope of hues that bleed into each other. During the transition, you hear Javik, you know, call out to you, imploring you to be wary. Something in here wants you dead, Vagrus, though it seeks to sustain my life. Stay by my side. We must endure and... But he cannot finish, for the hues have taken shape and the dawn of Valensteel is long gone. Oh, we're back in the Arenas Negras. Sick. When you come to your senses again, you realize that you are standing in Arenas Negras, surrounded by your comes. Javik is among them, but he has aged significantly, now looking to be in his 30s. He's on his haunches, holding an old woman with dark dreadlocks for hair in his lap. Blood seeps from a grievous wound in her stomach, and she leans in, softly stroking his face. Javik's visage is marred by concern and a sense of deep sorrow. How? Why? He manages with great effort. The woman looks at Javik with love a mother might feel for her child. He takes her hand, tears falling now from his eyes, and he strokes her hand. Doesn't matter now, Pavus, she says, her voice weak but smooth as silk. I am so sorry that it took me such a long time to do what's right. I should have listened to you. Javik shakes his head, unable to speak. Farewell, she whispers, and then dies quietly. Javik stays there, holding the woman's hand, muttering to himself. And just then, as the sorrowful scene comes to its tragic end, shapes and hues all bleed into each other again, sending the two of you spiraling into the ether. When a new rendition of reality takes hold, the vividness is gone, and it has given way to surreality. The locale, however, is the same, Arenas Negras, now at dawn. Hey, it's our old pal Sidarius. It occurs to you immediately that the events transpiring herein are already well underway. You're victorious after a hard-fought melee, and in your grasp is a tainted woman who is badly hurt and bound. Others are here too. Javik stands by your side, as does a demonkin warrior, and scattered around are members of what is obviously a comitatus. The way they look at you, the glint in their eyes, tells you that you lead them, though you do not know who you are supposed to be. A Sergeradite priest and the master he serves, a grim-faced knight in dark armor, are in your direct line of sight. As your crew recovers from the battle, the knight orders you to round up the enemy's slaves. For what purpose he does not say. You catch a glance from Javik then, disdain and sorrow written all over his face. The demonkin shuffles uncomfortably beside you, and she stands with the Tarkian as obvious. At the periphery, you can sense your crew too opposes the Dark Knight, which emboldens you to say the one word he is not used to. No. You dare defy the commands of one who is chosen by Sergorod? The knight booms incredulously. I think that's the voice I used for Sidarius. The decision has already been made. Javik and the Demonkin surge forward, positioning and bracing themselves, joined by your surviving guards. The Black Knight brandishes his greatsword, and his Sergorodite brethren take their place at his side. So be it, Tiberius, the knight says coldly. You and your measly comitatus are hereby condemned to death. The pale light of Arenas Negras winks at you, and the battle is joined by your commies. Time to fight Sidarius for real. We already killed his skeleton, it's fine. Begin fight. Ow. Hey, nerd, you missed me. Alright, what is this ability this time? Initiative. Okay, so this is a big debuff for the enemy. So take down Sidarius for sure. He's the most dangerous. And then what is this ability? Premonition, initiative, evasion, block, and an accuracy. Let's give it to Morwen. Is that, yes, it is Morwen. Man, I wish she was still in the game. She was a cool character. Do we boot him? I think we just try to kill him. Hey, stop that. What is this? These abilities. What do we got? Smack, Bull Rush, which means we couldn't smack him backwards. Sap, stunned and ooh, if we could stun Sidarius. Are you immune to stun, sir? He is, because of Thick Skull. So don't try to stun him. I think we try to Bull Rush him. Yes. All right. Keep boosting your two allies. We'll alternate between the two. Hack at Sidarius again. Nice, 5 damage. One more hit, maybe he's dead. Bull rush this guy. Swap places with the priest. Haha. And now we debuff this dude. And then try to boost Morwen again. Kill Sidarius, please. Shoot. Oh, he's down! He's down and out. Alright, smack this dude. What? Him and his shield. Debuff him then. Retribution. Hey, stop that. Sidarius is just gonna bleed out on the ground, I guess. Morwen will have to move over or something. Let's see, can I... No, I think I have to take the turn to move her. Smack this dude. This guy is going to tank all the damage. This is the stupidest fight. He's gonna curse me? Oh, he's moved to the front. Shocker. All right, Morwen, go ahead and smack this dude. 2 damage. Oh, he's got a lot of armor. Nice miss, nerd. Nice miss again, nerd. This is quite the Titanic clash, huh? There we go, 5 damage. Morwen's chunking through the armor now. Oh, you coward! Push this guy to the back, and then maybe we can finish this dude off. Boost this guy. Morwen, finish the priest off. Yes, well done. And now there's just one fellow left. Keep pummeling him. Debuff again. Take his armor away. Chap him. 2 more damage, please. A little bit more. And dead. I win. You lose. Oh, what a pretty place we were in. There's a moment of fleeting jubilation when the Dark Knight finally meets his end, and you see Javik turn to you, ready to say something. Before the scene disintegrates before your eyes, a torrent of coal-black sand swallows everything, and your senses are made useless by a raging cacophony that feels as though it will deafen you. You muster your wits and focus, holding fast against the storm, until finally something changes and the silence takes hold. And in that silence, you awaken to see yourself look like you. Yet you are not in loom. The ground is cold and hard, made of exquisitely preserved marble. As you push yourself to your feet from a lying position, you look around. You occupy an eerily silent hallway, along the walls of which are exquisitely carved elven figures armed with elegant weapons of martial splendor. Outside of the hall, the sun is shining bright on what looks like a magnificent garden. Everything is of flawless craftsmanship and bears no marked sign of age or decay. In a nigh unnerving change of pace, there is no sound here, only a thick scented air that smells faintly of various flora. Then you hear something behind you, so you turn at once. Vagrus? Javik's voice comes, and you see the Tarkian standing not 10 feet from you. You nod and see that the appearance of the man before you now is unaltered from his looks in the real world. Wondering if this is another scene set to unfold momentarily, you speak, prompting the sorcerer to tell you if this is another memory of his. It is most certainly not, he instantly answers. This place, I'm not sure it exists in anyone's memory. Well, anyone who's alive today, anyway. He looks around. A tad unsettling, I might add. I have the distinct feeling we are being watched, despite what appearances might imply. You tell Javik to hazard a guess as to what this place might be. It is in any case his mindscape the two of you are in. He looks around nervously. If I had to guess, I'd say this is some kind of rendition of Valensteel, he answers uncertainly. And we, surprisingly, are going to pause right here. So, we'll pick up in the middle of Javik's dream next episode. So tune in for that. If you guys enjoyed the episode, please click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more episodes of Vagrus the Riven Realms or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have your notifications on so you know when the next videos go live. But until next time, everybody, I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody!